Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, you're watching Booked-on-Charity, and in today's video we'll be going through my April TBR. So since it's April, and as a fantasy reader, I think if a lot of you here are fantasy readers, you probably have heard of Magical Readathon, which is a readathon that has been created by G over at Book Roast, and I will link her announcement video down below because I'm not going to do the readathon any justice. But I've been kind of following this readathon kind of lightly over the last couple of years, but it is literally the only readathon read along that I follow each and every year. And there's two main ones that we do every year. So we've got the autumn equinox, and then we've got the spring equinox. So because it's April and it is autumn for a lot of us, we are now doing the autumn equinox, and we've got our prompts for this month. So the way that this works is that you pick a calling, and in the beginning we also had to pick a character name, the traits of your character, which I did like 3 years ago. But I wouldn't say that it's something that I'm properly following. I think the calling is the only thing that I've been following. But last year I decided to change my calling to Archmage, and the slogan, I guess, for Archmage is "Magic is Life," which I just love that. And I chose it literally off the whim. And you also had to pick a guild, and the guild that I picked is the Order of the Crescent. I love moons. If we had to choose between sun and the moon, I'm definitely a moon type of girl, and I love a crescent moon. So it was a no-brainer for me. And because of my calling, there are specific quote-unquote subjects that you are meant to pass to get to the next level during that time. So the subjects that I need to pass is alchemy, inscription, artificery, spells and incantation, art of illusion, and conjuration. And because it's spring equinox, we don't need to do the different levels. So if you guys have done Magical Readathon, you will know that in spring we read a lot more, because if, for example, alchemy has a distinction linked to it, you have to read 2 other books before you get to distinction. There's like 3 levels for each, but this time around we don't have to. So to make things easier for myself, I went and printed out the syllabus for the year. So you'll see all the red dots. It represents all my subjects. And for alchemy, the course focus is volume magnification. And the reading prompt for that is to pick a book with all capitals as the book title. This one was actually quite easy. So it was just a matter of what I wanted to read, and I knew that for this exercise I wanted to go to the library and pick up some books from the library. So I'll insert some clips here and there of me being at the library and picking these books. So the book that I picked up for this prompt is Assassin's Apprentice. Sorry, there's a lot of glare. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. But this is the first book in the Farseer trilogy, which I've heard so many good things about, especially last year. Like, a lot of the people that I watch and follow on BookTube spoke about Robin Hobb's trilogy and they absolutely love it, and I've always wanted to also pick it up, but I knew that I was not yet ready to buy the books. However, at one of my libraries that I frequent, I had seen a couple of books from Robin Hobb, so I knew that I needed to go look for this. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I don't really know much about it, but I've heard that the writing is really good. I heard that the characterization is done really well. I've heard that the plot and the magic system and everything just comes together so nicely, and I can't wait to get into the story. So obviously, if I love this, I will definitely be investing in copies that I can keep for myself. All right, so the second subject is Art of Illusion, and the course focus is distance manipulation. And for this, I had to pick a book that I've already planned for the month. And in the hopes of continuing and finishing series, I decided to continue with Mistborn trilogy. So this is book 2, and this one is called The Well of Ascension. Sorry guys, my glare is pretty bad. especially on these books that are kind of like light in color. I've got my ring light behind you. But yeah, this is the second book of the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I read The Final Empire late last year, absolutely enjoyed it. I love the magic system. It was one of those magic systems that I found to be very unique. It's not something that I've seen before, and it surrounds the use of metals, and you've got certain people that when they ingest a certain metal, they can use the properties of that metal to push and pull and manipulate things around them. But then you've got people who are mistborn, and not only can they manipulate one type of metal, but they can manipulate all types of metal. And they are usually hunted down by the rulers in this world. And yeah, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. It is kind of like a slow-paced book, and there's a lot of world building, there's a lot of political intrigue, but I really did enjoy it. And even when we got to the action parts of it, it was really, really exciting to read. So I can't wait to get into book 2. I don't know what to expect from here, but I hope that it's gonna be good. Okay, so for the third subject, we've got conjuration. The course focus for conjuration is locational summons, and the reading prompt for that is to do a random country generator for an author and then pick one of the books. Guys, I struggled with this one, okay? I struggled, and here it says that you get to have 5 tribes. All the countries that came up were either countries that I've never even heard of, like they were so small that I've never even heard of them, or I don't have any books, or like when I searched for authors from that country, I did not own anything by those authors. And especially because this magical readathon is a magical readathon, which means you have to pick fantasy related books, I ended up having to kind of like narrow my search, and I narrowed it to Asian authors. And I did the generator, and the first country that came up was China, which is great, okay? Which is easy enough because I've got tons of books by authors of Chinese descent. So this is what I picked. So we've got a book that I've been meaning to read for the last couple of years, and I think for the most part the reason that I have not picked it up is because I love this author so much, and I've loved everything that they've written so far. But I got scared with this one because people were having kind of like mixed reactions, and I wanted to kind of like let that die down before I got to pick it up. And the author I'm talking about is R.F. Kuang, and the book that I'm deciding to pick, which is the only one that I haven't read by the author, is Babel, and it says an arcane history. So this is said to be a dark academia-esque book, so I'm not expecting like a lot of action or anything, but I am looking forward to seeing what it's about. I also don't know a lot about it, but it is kind of like historical fantasy, I guess, because it's taking place in Oxford in 1836, where I think an immigrant was taken to, what did they say, Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation. And this, I'm expecting it to speak on how language can be used when it comes to war. How translations, how important it is to translate certain works, and how language in itself can be used to either gain favor during a war or use against the people. But yeah, I don't know much about it. I did sample it, I think I want to say 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed it just from the get-go. But I was like, this is something that I want to also physically pick up, so I put down the audiobook for a while, but I'm glad and I'm happy to be back here again. All right, for the fourth subject, we've got spells and incantations, and for that the course focus is spells, so it's copy paste. So the idea or the prompt is that you need to take a word from your previous book and use that word to find a title for your next book. So I couldn't pick a book that I'm currently reading since I haven't finished anything, and when I checked on my story graph, the last book I finished was Finlay Donovan Knocks Them Dead. I did not have any book that had the word dead in it, but I found a book with the word death in it, and I feel like that works. It's close enough. And the book that I'm talking about is Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I'm gonna let this focus for a bit. I've been meaning to pick up this book for a very, very long time, and ever since I read Januaries by Olivia Blake, which is her anthology, I really craved more work from Olivia Blake, which I have tons. I have tons on my shelves, but I haven't done that yet. But I've heard good things about it. I know that Vuvu read this a couple of months ago, and she said that she enjoyed it. I personally enjoy everything by Olivia Blake as well, so I'm really looking forward to this one. I've got my audiobook already ready and waiting for me on Ever, and for actually a lot of these books, because I went to go look for audiobooks, because that's how I've been managing to read for the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I am interested to see what it's about, and I'm just looking for illustrations, because I know that's what Olivia Blake always blesses us with in her books. She always gives us like beautiful, stunning illustrations, and they're always quite relevant to what the story is about. So I really, really love that. And yeah, this is also another one that I need to definitely read with my eyes together with the audiobook, but I need my eyes on page. She writes so beautifully, and she has a lot of quotable moments in her stories, and I can't wait to delve into this one. Okay, for the fifth subject, we've got Artificery, and the course focus is Clockworks Mechanics. And for this one, I had to check the time, right? And then based on the time, whether it was AM or PM, I had to pick a book with the title length to match that time. So I remember I took a clip because I was at the library, and it was around 2 o'clock. So it was 1400 hours, well, with some minutes. I didn't count the minutes, and it took me a while. It took me a while to find a book, but I did finally find one, and this is what I got. I've got Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. Guys, it took me a while because I had to like count the letters, but let's just do it together because there's 14 letters in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this fit perfectly, and it's also a book that I have borrowed from the library multiple times, because I've been really wanting to read it, and I really hope that this time around I could take the time to sit down and read this book, because I really am interested in the story. And this one is following a artificial friend who is like in the store and watches the behavior of humans like walking past the store, and she yearns to be picked as essentially an artificial friend. But I think this will be kind of like a conversation of what it means to be human, especially having an AI trying to also be part of this human life and yearning to be one of us. But I don't know how that's gonna work out for them, and whether they'll just find out that there's nothing to yearn for. This is probably why in all the AI robot types movies, the robots end up killing humans, because they realize that we are the problem. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one and seeing the commentary from Kazuo Ishiguro's point of view. So yeah, I'm excited to finally pick up this book. And then the last subject is Inscription, and for that the course focus is The Hook. Prompt for that is first sentence challenge. So I was meant to try 3 sentences and then pick the best. I picked the first one. I was happy with it. I didn't even need to go look for other ones because I was like, this excited me and I don't see how anything else right now can top this. And for that prompt, I decided to pick up Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This is also a book that I have picked up from the library multiple times, and guys, I do not want to return these books without reading them, okay? But just to give you an idea of what really excited me about this book, let me read the first sentence to you guys. It says, "We must, by law, keep a record of the innocents we kill." That's kind of the first sentence, right? But just to continue on that, it says, and as I see it, they are all innocents, even the guilty. So I'm looking forward to it, but this is essentially following a timeline sometime in the future where humans have found cures for diseases and people don't just die anymore, but then we kept populating the world and we started overpopulating it essentially, and they had to now train these scythes to cull humans, and they had to pick who to call. I don't know how the picking process works, but it looks like the characters that we follow are actually going into training to become scythes. But as the synopsis says at the end, then they are told that one of them will have to glean the other. So gleaning is actually essentially killing. But yeah, looking forward to reading this one. It is kind of like a weird, almost like sci-fi-esque book, but I like these type of books and topics and things that just make me think. I really enjoy it. At the back it says, "Thou shalt kill." Okay, we'll see how this one goes. All right, so this is a stack of all of the books that I've picked for Magical Readathon. However, it is not all the books that I am deciding to pick up for the month of April, so let me talk to you about the rest of my anticipated reads. All right, first up, let's start with a book on the Kindle. I just love to show off the Kindle. So let's take a moment. Let's take a moment for the Kindle, the cover. I need to change my pop socket because now it doesn't match the background or the cover of my Kindle, but I just love it. So the book that I'm actually in the middle of right now is this. So I've got Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This is a romantasy following Faye, and I am kind of doing a reading vlog this week, so I'll talk more about it there. But so far so good. I'm enjoying it. I am definitely reading this more on audiobook than I am physically, even ebook wise, because time, you know. So I am trying to read whenever I can, and usually that's during my commutes, and therefore it's been via audio. But the audiobook is very easy to follow. The writing style is very digestible, and I'm having a great time with it. The spice is really spicy. We haven't had like a sex scene yet, but it's been very kind of like spicy, angsty type situation, and it's been good. But the plot is also quite interesting, so I'm looking forward to seeing where that's gonna go. This is the first book in a series. I don't even know the series name, but yeah, it is a popular, I want to say, book talk book, and I was just like, let me try it out. So yes, this is what I'm currently reading. I had also started Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare in March, but I didn't finish it, so I'm still in the beginning. I'm like on page 50, I want to say. I am busy with the tabs as well. I'm tabbing it quite a bit, and I'm tabbing things that I feel like is important information to take through the book. But I found myself feeling a little bit fatigued with the story at some point, because I think there was a lot of conversation and not really much movement, and at the time I needed something more fast-paced, so I paused it, and I will definitely be going back to this book because I do want to finish it this month. And then a book that we are reading for the Fully Booked Sprints book club is Love, Marry, Kill, and it's going to focus in a moment. There we go. And this one is by Zukiswa Vanner. I want to say Werner, hey, but I'm not sure. It says in the front, Till Death Do Us Part. This is a novel. I haven't started this, but I know that we're supposed to be discussing it in the last week of April. If you guys are interested in reading this with us, please do join us. There will be announcements on our Fully Booked Sprints Instagram account on dates for the discussion. Our discussions normally take place on Teams. We used to do Google Meets, but we've moved over to Teams. So yeah, if you're interested, read with us, join our discussion. If you haven't read it but you still want to be part of the discussion and listen in, you're more than welcome to do so. This is a South African author, South African based book, so it's giving thriller vibes, okay? It's giving thriller vibes, and I'm looking forward to starting it. I think I might maybe start it over the weekend, and yeah, we'll see how this one goes. The final book I'm adding on my TBR is from an author that I've really fell in love with last year, and I really wanted to get back into their world, their stories, and that is Carissa Broadband. So I'm gonna be reading the 4th book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, because I've read the first duology, I've read the novella, and now this is a new book in a new duology, and I just love how she's just doing this whole thing. And this one is called The Songbird and the Heart of Stone. I needed to just read the title for you guys before I showed you, because it is a long one and there's no way that I'm remembering all of these words. But this is book 1 in the Shadowborn duet, and I can't wait. Her writing is so good, the plot is so good, the romantic elements are so good. Like, I haven't given any of her books less than 4.5 stars, I want to say, and I'm just looking forward to it, man. I don't know who we're following in this one, but yo, we're going to the underworld. Yeah, this is gonna be giving Shadow Daddy vibes, okay? The underworld, soul, secret, psyche, breath, body, Morton, and the mortal world. So this is what I'm looking at, this illustration / map, I guess, of the underworld. And oh, this one follows Mish. We met Mish in the first duology. I'm looking forward. I'm already excited to see what Carissa does. I'm really excited. She writes vampires so well, and I'm just like, she's gotten me the most excited about vampires recently. And yeah, I can't wait to see what's in store for me in this book. And that is it for my April TBR. It is quite ambitious. There's a lot of fantasy books, which I'm not complaining. I am mainly a fantasy reader. If you guys are participating in Magical Readathon, please let me know down below. Let me know what your calling is. If not, just let me know what you are planning on reading for the month of April. And yeah, if you made it this far in this video, leave me an arrow emoji for the songbird and the heart of stone, because there's an arrow here. I don't see birds. There's feathers. So leave me feathers or leave me like an arrow emoji for this book here that I'm so excited to read. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.